Genesis 20 is one of those chapters that will mess with your theology if you don't slow down and really read it. Because this chapter shows us something deep. God protects people who lie. God warns people who don't even know that they were wrong. And God fixes messes that his own people caused. Now, Abraham had just come from God destroying Sodom and Gomorrah. Fire fell from the sky, judgment hit the land, and you would think after seeing that, Abraham would be walking bold, fearless, and full of faith. But no. The Bible says Abraham moved to Gerar, and when he got there, he told everybody that Sarah was his sister, not his wife, his sister. This is not the first time Abraham pulled this stunt. He did it before in Egypt, and now here he is doing it again. Why? Fear. This man who walked with God, this man who talked with God, this man who heard God's voice, still struggled with fear. Don't miss that. Faith does not mean you never get scared. Faith means you trust God even when you are scared. But Abraham didn't trust God here. And now, because of his lie, King Abimelech took Sarah to be his wife. Now pause. This is serious because God promised that Sarah would give birth to Isaac. And now another man has her. And if Abimelech sleeps with her, the promise is contaminated. The lineage is corrupt. The miracle is questioned. But God steps in. That night, God comes to Abimelech in a dream and says, "You are a dead man. Not tomorrow, not eventually, right now. You are a dead man because that woman is married." Now, Abimelech says something powerful. He says, "Lord, I didn't know. I did this with a clean heart and innocent hands." And God says, "I know." Oh my God. God says, "I know. You didn't know." This is deep. God says, "I kept you from sinning against me. That's why I didn't let you touch her." Let me preach this. Some of the stuff you didn't do wasn't your self-control. It was God's protection. Some doors you didn't walk through weren't because you were strong. It's because God blocked them. Some mistakes you almost made were stopped by grace. God said, "I kept you." Not you kept yourself. I kept you. Then God tells Abimelech, "Give her back. He is a prophet. He will pray for you and you will live." Now wait. Abraham is the liar here. Abraham is the one who caused this mess. But God still calls him a prophet. Hear me. God doesn't cancel your calling every time you mess up. You may fail, but God doesn't erase your purpose. You may stumble, but God doesn't delete your destiny. Abimelech wakes up terrified. He calls all his officials. He tells everybody. Fear falls on all of them. Then he confronts Abraham. I love this part. Abimelech says, "What have you done to us? What did I ever do to you that you would bring this guilt up on my kingdom?" In other words, why did you lie to me? And Abraham gives the most human answer ever. He says, "I thought there was no fear of God here, and that you would kill me." Translation, I assumed the worst. Assumptions will mess up your life. He says, "She really is my sister, kind of. Half-truths are still lies." Then Abimelech gives Sarah back, gives Abraham sheep, cattle, servants, money. And then he says, "Live wherever you want." And then he says something so wild. He says, "I am giving your brother..."